Hey to the people, what's going on? It is me, Chase. Can y'all hear me? I hope so. As you see, you get the Stacy emoji tonight. And that's because I am planning on returning back to work soon. So soon. Hopefully tomorrow. We were going to do a return tonight. However, the light and my eye are not cooperating. And so still experiencing some light sensitivity. So tomorrow, I think I have a trick to fix that. In the meantime, tonight we will be navigated through this Potomac Part 1 of the reunion by Tori B and Jay. I want to go ahead and let them up. Before we do, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and hype the video so we can go ahead and get pushed up into the algorithm. The lounge is open. The people are coming in, and we're going to go ahead and get right on into it. I will see you guys at the end of the review so I can give some thoughts that I had. And yeah, let's get right on into it. So production, go ahead and let Jay and Tori B up, please. Thank you.
Hey, y'all.
I'll do it.
Demisio, get on point, baby, please.
Yeah. I love that our boy Chase is still recovering from his BBL. My diva.
BBL.
That's right. You know, that eye surgery. We it was a couple.
Hey, y'all. Hey to the people. All right. Jay is starting already with his messy ass.
I mean, would y'all would never expect anything less.
That is very true. That is very true. Welcome to No Chaser TV's RHOP reunion review.
Period.
I am Tori B, and obviously this is Jay. Okay. And he is messy already at the start of the show.
No.
Thank you all for being with us. Yes, not the BBL.
Sorry, like I said, this hair is cute. This is
I'm trying. We shall see, honey. Let's see.
Was you seeing a man about a horse? You want to see a man about a horse? What's going on? I mean, not that you have to get cute to ever see a man, because it's not about a man. But you know, I mean, I hear you be tearing up the New York streets. You be giving these men the blues.
I mean, I can't deny that, right? But I also need to be careful. I need to be careful about what I say. But it was Love Weekend, and because today is an observance of President's Day, the only president we acknowledge right now is Obama. Period. And maybe a little bit of Biden.
How did you celebrate Love Day?
Some self-love, some, receiving love,
Okay. And I know you can't tell us too much, but since we're talking about love, make sure y'all vote for the Reality TV Starlight Awards. We have been nominated for most consistent YouTuber. That girl, that boy, Mr. Chase deserves all the things. Make sure y'all vote for him. You can vote from multiple emails. Vote for the mother effer, because we love him.
All right. And where you vote is right there in the chat. So yes, make sure that you use all the emails you can to vote. We appreciate
not like Wendy. Don't make a new identity to vote. We're not trying to be Pam
Oliver.
We're not trying to do that. But make sure you vote for Chase in a legal way.
I can't. Well, thank you all for joining us. And before we hop in, Jay, how you feeling about this first installation? I mean, we gave our ones and twos on the caring of it all. So how are we feeling about this first episode of the reunion?
So you know what I'm gonna say? Y'all know I've been very critical of Angel. She didn't flop. She didn't do a lot, but I feel like Angel actually, she didn't annoy me as much as I thought she did this reunion. I also did not know Kiana was on the stage because she said 2 words. You know what? It wasn't a bad first part.
Okay. What I will say, I'm looking forward to part 2 and 3 because it looks like it's gonna be a little bit messy. But I mean, to me, they ain't really get dirty in the first part the way I thought they was. I mean, the shade between Ashley and Wendy didn't come till the end of the episode. So so we'll see. But let's hop into it. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it was all right. Not mad at it. But let's hop into it. And how the first episode starts really is of the reunion is Eddie and Wendy chatting about their arrests. So apparently this was filmed a week after their release, and basically, Eddie is like, how you feeling, and Wendy was basically like very monotone, very, you know, she seemed very drained. I will say that they just had a small conversation between just them two about the arrest, how they're feeling, and basically Wendy like ended up asking how this would affect their marriage. And so, I appreciate Eddie saying, well, it's going to impact us. We don't know how, but it's going to affect us. And so we do know that during the arrest at some point, right, Wendy does call her sister, and I think they both kind of got a little emotional in the fact that they had heard Cameron in the background, their daughter, um, and they were quite emotional at that point. And so I wanted to kind of say that because as we get into the reunion and they ask Wendy more questions, it's kind of related. So, how did you feel about just that first part with Wendy and Eddie?
So I mean, I'm kind of torn because I appreciated the scene. I like, yeah, sure, they're talking about the arrest. Something about it just felt very not I don't know. It kind of didn't feel authentic, but it did. I get it that maybe, maybe I was expecting them to say X, Y, or Z, but it was just something about that scene that just it's something about the way that they've been acting since the arrest that just doesn't sit right with me. Like, and I get it, we all respond to trauma very differently, but they are just oddly like, all right, well, we got arrested. Let's go on with our lives. Like, it's just something about that scene that felt weird to me, but I appreciated it. I wish we could have gotten some scenes with the women responding to it, but I don't know how I feel about it.
Okay. Um I don't think they want to give it that much energy, especially since right they haven't gone to trial, and I think at that point we didn't even get the details that we had gotten um with them going back and forth to court if it was going to go to trial. So this was really early in after their arrest. So I think you got to play it safe. You got to you know they're saying that they're innocent of these charges, and so I think that's the other part of it. But it really seemed to be affecting Wendy. She's like, I know I have to eat, but I don't want to eat and stuff like that. So I mean, I don't know what else they're gonna do. It's like, at the same time you don't want to act guilty. This is
Yeah.
still um kind of you still kind of want to sway public opinion. Remember,
Yeah.
Eddie is still like, whether he's practicing or not, he's still an attorney. So
What I will say is I kind of felt, and I get it, cameras got to go up when stuff happens. I kind of felt similarly to how I felt like Karen did her interview too soon after she came back. Like, I feel like maybe if they had given them a little bit more time, maybe they might have acted differently. I don't know. But yeah, I get your point. Like, they're not trying to do too much. They're dealing with it in real time, but it just It just was weird.
I feel that. I feel that. So again, we'll get right into it. Um so yes, the last episode prior to this one was all about Karen and how she was feeling. But this week we jump right into the reunion discussing Wendy, the mug shots, how she's feeling after the arrest. The shocking felony charges that she's facing. And we got a little bit more of the details of her arrest. Um, so basically, um, it's just so sad. I can't believe this. We basically Andy starts and it's like, Wendy, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Um, and I just it was really interesting that basically Wendy was the last one to join the girls after everybody sat down on the couch, and they made sure to like us see Wendy and Eddie kissing before she actually walks on set. Um, and so yes, like one thing I highlighted is that she does address, the fact that at first the kids were not affected by the arrest, but that her son, I don't remember, is it Cruz or Carter? I don't remember.
I think it
It
was
was
Cruz.
Cruz actually found out about the arrest, even though her sister was able to pick up the kids and whisk them off to her house while, Eddie and Wendy were actually in jail. And so she kind of talked about that during the reunion, stating that they didn't specifically tell him, but the next day when they picked him up from school, he kind of said something about it. And at that point, they all got really emotional and like really hugged and talked to him about it. And so I thought that was a really like powerful moment. And she said, after that, we had vowed to him that we would keep them or keep all of them in the loop of when we're going to court and things like that. And I know as a parent, I don't know as a parent, but I would think as a parent that would be very hurtful to have to admit to your child that you guys are in fighting a legal case. And
Yeah.
so for her to mention that, I thought that was really big of her because she didn't have to say that. Honestly, I was so surprised that Giselle was so nice. um, and so that was one part that I kind of could relate to her on that. What she also disclosed was that her and Eddie spent the night in jail, which we did not know, and that the whole thing about sorry, there's somebody outside my door. That
Look,
basically
when your dog was
she
barking,
had to can you hear?
no, I was saying when your dog
I
was
think it's
barking.
delayed. All right.
Sorry.
Okay. No, you're kind of slow. It was kind of
Oh,
lagging.
sorry.
Basically, it's okay. They discussed the mug shots. And Ashley made it a point to be kind of rude about it. Like, it seemed like you were smiling. Like, she's like, well, yeah, because the person taking the picture knew that I was like out of it and was like, listen, I'm gonna make you laugh. And she kind of alluded to that part. And then also they, Giselle actually mentioned how she was like, was that your napping wig? Because it was a little twisted. And so it kind of lightened the mood in a very like strange place, talking about somebody being in jail. But she, Wendy played along and said, no, that was my professor wig. And so, then Stacy chimed in and they was like, oh my God, you were in there all night. Y'all slept there? She said, yes, we slept there. And here goes Ashley. Oh, um, you know, I'm really like, that's one thing I'm really scared of. I'm petrified. Two people on our cast have gone to jail, and um, I'm really scared to go to jail.
So what?
I'll stop there. Yeah.
Well, what
Okay.
I was gonna say that I found interesting about, and then people have talked about kind of Wendy is interesting because when I was watching this scene, I think about in the whole Bravo universe, Wendy, and I think this speaks also to Potomac, Wendy doesn't really have a lot of relationships in the Bravo world. You know what I mean? Like, you never hear, like, when Andy was talking about asking women, like, oh, who out of the other Bravo people, Bravo Lebs, are you friends with? Wendy didn't really have anyone that like she built relationships with. But I also think it was interesting when she was talking about this, no one really F's with her kind of like outside of filming. So I kind of just felt like it was interesting how Wendy she don't really have friends. I don't know. Maybe I might have been the only person who thought that, but I just felt like it was interesting how Wendy is really kind of on an island in the whole Bravo world. And I don't know if that's her own doing, but she just I don't think she's ever really built a real bond with anyone.
Yeah, I think, and that's a great point, Jay. Like, I really do believe that she is kind of on an island on her own. I think, there are alliances now that, Candace is not there, so her and Stacy are kind of like a duo, the same way, Giselle and Ashley are. But I don't know if they're really really friends out. They might be. They might have recently built one, but outside of that, I really can't say, like, I don't know if she's really actually admitted that there's other housewives that she speaks to
Yeah.
outside of Potomac. And so I would agree to that.
And it's not even
Um
housewives, it's like Married to Medicine. Like, I mean, no shade. The fact that Reza is the only person that she's talking about she wanted to show love to, Reza of all people, like it just I, I don't know. I y'all know I've been hard on Wendy. I think I've this is the first season I've really enjoyed her, but child, I mean, we're gonna be talking about Wendy for 3 parts, so we can move on.
but how did you feel about what Ashley said?
The whole like I felt like, yeah, my fear is going to jail. Like, girl, no one wants to go to jail, but if this is your fear, it just felt kind of like an unnecessary digger. It was kind of like, oh, well, Karen's been to jail. You've been to jail. I haven't been to jail. It just felt, it was weird. And y'all know, I don't hate Ashley. I'm probably one of the few people who doesn't hate Ashley. It was a very weird statement and I didn't like it.
Yeah, I just thought it was very unnecessary. But then again, this is her thing. She's a messy heifer. And the way I look at it is, um, she has to insert herself somewhere because she has nothing going on. To me, the Sheila thing is not landing. To me, yeah, it is attention seeking, but it's just like she has no couth, no, like, it just gives, girl, like, it just gives thirsty, because it is.
Now, what I will say is she is thirsty, she's attention seeking, but if anyone had a good first part to the reunion, Ashley had a good first part to this reunion. She's a lot of things, but I know we're gonna get into it, but Ashley clocked in a little bit more than I expected.
Yeah, I guess. I think she has to, though. If she wants another contract, if she wants to go into next season, she needs to. You have to step it up. So after the Wendy segment, we step into the Stacy segment. And so, what I will say here is, it's very interesting. So we run through Stacy's whole the stuff with Timu, and the QVC stuff. And he was like, Stacy, I find myself really being entertained by your QVC videos, and he acknowledged the fact that she was acknowledged by was it Variety or Entertainment, one of those platforms, for having one of the best performances of 2025. And so everybody's like, congratulations. Even Giselle was like, congratulations, after, the thing, sorry, Wendy, your arrest and Karen's arrest, this was like a positive. And I think that's really good to acknowledge that. And so, just going through all of her, um, the lies team will, the TJ, they even ran through the TJ of it. And so what I did, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. Stacy really, to me, she does give performing.
She does. And I think my thing is, I don't get upset that she performed, because whatever, all these women, no one on any housewife show is 100% who they are, so it's not like that bothers me. But I think the thing that always has irked me with Stacy is she knows what she's doing, because Stacy's not a dumb girl, and it's like she knows what she's doing, how she's almost, I think the thing is, for me, she's so calculated it becomes not fun, because it's like you can tell, let's say she really was divorcing Timu and she was really with TJ. Everything, it just feels like since the second she got on Bravo, she knows what she's doing, why she's doing it, to get to the place that she wants to be. And it's just like sometimes, all right, girl, you're a little too clocked in. So that, it's sure, I think she's great for the show, but she just be pissing me off.
Yes. So the highlight of the Stacy conversation for me was Tia. Tia tried to accuse Stacy of switching her affection on and off for the cameras. And then, Stacy comes back and is like, well, you're faking your British accent. And Tia basically is saying, at one point you I don't remember if she said they were on a plane. They were on a plane or something, and she didn't know it was Stacy who was speaking,
Yep.
which Kiana had spoke to before, right? Like, this is Detroit Stacy, right? And so she was talking in all types of colloquialisms, and her voice just, it was totally different than what I had grown accustomed to. And that is also when, Stacy hits back about, well, your British accent is fake. And so Stacy, well, Giselle and Ashley tried to bring up the Stacy contract, the TJ contract of it all, saying that they went to Hollywood and met this actress that had, all of the receipts of, Stacy making alleged payments to TJ. And she's like, I'm not gonna, Stacy is not gonna talk about the TJ of it all. And it was like, what killed me is that Stacy was like, well, you two have been embarrassed by men in your lives, and you would have a lot more empathy for a woman like me. So she kind of turned that back on them. And I love her for that, because that is absolutely true.
Well, okay. So to put a little pin in the whole accent or whatever, her acting different, let's not forget that, what's the little AJ? Is that his name? Her best friend?
Yeah.
He was the one who said on camera that she was acting different than what he knew her to be. So it's just like, yes, sure, the women might have other reasons to say it, but if your own friend is pretty much like, girl, this ain't you, like, and that, for me, that says something. Like, and now, and look, Tia, I'll give Tia, I mean, I like Tia, I'll give her things. She's not wrong about Stacy married up. You try to, be prim and proper. Like, you really, and it's fine. Like, I would respect old girl. She was like, yeah, all right, I married my little German man. I married my little Hitler youth. Sorry, I can't say that. Chase gonna drop me down. But then, like, said, hey, look, this is what I am. I'm trying to get to this spot in life. Cool. I just don't like how Stacy tries to act like we're all stupid. That's my thing. And that's why I say Tia was not wrong. Tia sees her for exactly who she is. And that I'm interested to see Tia and Stacy for another couple seasons because I think they see each other. And I like that dynamic. But Tia knows ball, and I think she knows a woman like Stacy.
Yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree. Chase made the point. Y'all are not gonna like it, but I'm on Tia's side. I said that when this happened. When it happened, and Tia was like, "Where I have a problem is when you tried to lie on me," and you did because you said one thing in the scene with Arabella and Timu. Arabella, right?
Me and Bella, I'm making this for Bella. Bella.
Right? You said this one thing, and then when Wendy, Eddie, Tia, and her husband all went out, you didn't know that you was on speakerphone, and Tia called your ass out, and so it was just like I agree with Tia. Do not lie on me. You making it seem like I'm a liar, and when she said to her like, that's when I had a problem with you.
Yeah.
It's just like I agree with that. Do not do that. That's not cool. And I don't understand why at that moment Stacy just couldn't own up to that and just say, "Hey, Wendy, like Timu was not he knew how hurt I was in that moment, and so he wasn't ready to meet you." Instead of throwing Tia under the bus, what did you expect? What really killed me is the back and forth between them. And Stacy's like, "Well, what you did was you clocked in and then you ran back and told your master." Como? What? Who is Tia's master?
That master comment was crazy. Cause
yeah.
Let me would have said that. Y'all would have been calling me all types of little everything but a China guy. But I like to get Stacy your things. They just she kind of ate that. But it was also Tia, like to your point, Tia did not. I think the thing I understand where Tia was coming from because it was like, girl, I know what it was. I know what it wasn't. You're not gonna try to gaslight me and say it's sunny when it's dark. You know what I mean? Like, right. So I get that.
And then here goes Giselle. Oh, well, Wendy's your master. I was just like, Jesus.
Well, I mean, no shade. If we're keeping a bean, like Wendy is the only person that Stacy truly has on her side.
Yes, that is very true. So I was like, "Oh, we calling a spade, child."
Y'all, I normally will wait to the end, but I don't want to forget. By the way, y'all, my eye is really just like, it's just these stitches is really wearing me low today. So I'm sorry, I couldn't be with y'all, but I did want to hop in real quick and say that Stacy has a great way, which is not necessarily great, but she has a way of not acknowledging anything the other person says, railroading through their commentary and getting her point across. And it's old. I'm tired. She doesn't go into these conversations looking to find resolve. She goes to these conversations to be right.
Yeah.
And so I do think that she had a point. But see, that's the thing about conversation. It's not all about how you feel and what you think, and that's it. And then you throw an insult and then you move on. Like if you're looking to have resolve, right? And she's going to find herself on an island where nobody wants to fuck with her. And so she's a great talent, all of these things, but they're either going to eventually have to figure out how to move forward when nobody's going to want to work with her, or they're going to have to cast a show around her. So those are the two things that I see eventually happening, because it would have taken nothing for her to acknowledge what Tia said about the Timo situation and how it looks on camera. Even if you want to give a half acknowledgement, okay, I understand how that looks on camera, but you came with the intent to go back and run everything back to your boss, Giselle. That's like a conversation, right? Okay, you
Right.
acknowledge it. Now you're bringing up your point, and I'm going to see if I feel how you feel about your point, because she does have a point. However, to Stacy's detriment, she didn't feel that way in the moment, because in the moment she told that girl that she was the closest one to her and not Wendy. So for me, I'm on Tia's side because Stacy will play all day. And just like you're saying, this girl has an accent. You've already admitted that you code switch or whatever you do, and you turn your accent off and on because you're at work. So then what's the big deal about bringing up her accent? She's done it more than once. And I also want to say, because while I'm up here, before I get back down, everybody's talking about how Stacy was being Tia was being elitist to Stacy, but nobody's talking about how Stacy's ever elitist to Kiana.
True story.
Yeah.
I don't really give a fuck. Next. All right, go ahead, y'all. Y'all doing so good. I just wanted, because this whole part of the reunion is what really got me together, was the Stacy and Tia interaction. It was fresh, it was new, it was still fun. Even though I'm on Tia's side, I don't hate Stacy, but there are things that can be clocked, Keep going.
I also think it's interesting when we look at Stacy. This is the first time Potomac. I mean, I really don't want to count Katie, but this is the first time Potomac has ever had like a television personality on their cast. You know what I mean? It's like, because in Beverly Hills, you've had Lisa Rinna, you've had Garcelle, you've had women who have been in the public eye. I think Potomac is such a unique city. They don't, and in this area, we don't do with like fakery bullshit kind of so it's like, I think this is really like, this is a new playing field for them. But I agree. She has a very interesting energy for Kay, because she doesn't come for Kay. Like, she and Tia, they keep it cute, they keep it, whatever. But she comes for Kay in a very, and I'm gonna say it. Kay, she looks at Kay as like a Baltimore girl. She don't look at the other girls like that. And I mean, Kay is a Baltimore girl, but she gives Kay a very specific energy that she don't get nobody else.
But I feel like
just really quickly, while I'm up here, I want to say, I ain't supposed to say it, but it is what it is. Allegedly, maybe, I don't know if it's true or not, but maybe something that may not have aired was someone calling another cast member ghetto over and over again. Maybe. Who knows?
I can understand
the word ghetto, not intimating.
Oh, just saying the word ghetto.
But
here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. You got to acknowledge that when the season started, Kay came in really hot with Stacy. She really did. I'm not saying that's okay. I'm not saying she's not elitist towards Kay. I'm not saying none of that. But it was like, girl, why are you so? And I said it. I was like, I don't know if the producers were in Kay's ears and was like, you need to step it up or something. But she came in really hot for Stacy from the jump. And I think once that happened, she said all bets are off.
You know what? I'm gonna just stay up here for a little bit, even though my eye killing me, because the people keep talking, and I'm not gonna keep typing. I'm up here with y'all for a little bit. My eye, it is doing this big funky Watusi. The people saying Kay came for Stacy for no reason. Kay should have left Stacy alone. Weren't they cool last season? Everybody forgets that the big deal was that whole TJ thing. And for a lot of the girls that were already on the fence because Stacy was a code switcher and Stacy, was not really being forthcoming, and Stacy was not, being truthful, that was the straw that broke the camel's back for them. And so when the season picks up again, you bet your bottom dollar we're going to talk about it and we're going to address it. Now, where Kay got all that extra energy from?
That was the problem.
Yeah, I can't explain none of that. I'm not making excuses for any of that, but she didn't come for Stacy for no reason. She came for Stacy because when they left off at the reunion, the girl had just got allegedly exposed by TJ saying that he had paid her for the season and didn't pay up for the rest of the season. So a lot of girls had Stacy on the outs, and it was a big conversation that was happening on social media because the whole season last year, everybody was trying to figure out why their relationship was so weird. They don't have any sex. They don't hug. He never been over to the house. Is he
Y'all
gay?
drinking juicy juice and frozen pizza.
Well, but
It was a big deal. You know what I mean? And Kiana was one of the ones who actively supported them through all that weirdness. So so to find out that it wasn't authentic, I guess, if you want to say that, that was the crux of the issue. The way Kiana went about a lot of issues this season is baffling and confusing to me as well. So I'm not going to make any excuse for that, but it just wasn't out of the blue.
I think kind of to chase it for, I feel like that whole sit down at Giselle's house, one, should not have happened with that group of women, but it set the tone for this whole hate Stacy train. Like, I remember when that scene happened, it just stop. Sorry, my dog is eating some shit she don't have no business eating. It just I don't know. It's Stacy treats them in a very weird way, and they treat Stacy in a weird way. And I don't know what the disconnect is, but it's something. I think it's production led. I'll say that.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Potomac is interesting because they all claim to be a friend group, but everybody's clearly working and nobody really has any real friendship investment. So if you wanted to, like I could say for Stacy, she's going to be on an island for herself, by herself, because she's not making friends with the ladies. But then the ladies really aren't friends with each other. And so I can't encourage her to make friends with these people if they aren't really friends. So it does beg the reason, why does everybody hate you so bad? I think it's a lot of things. I do. I think that they're jealous of her.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you.
Friend group since season 6.
You say what?
Potomac ain't been a friend group since season 6 or 7.
Yeah,
7.
since that fight, I think the friend group was off after that fight. I really
Yeah.
do.
The other part of that is at the end of the day, Stacy might not have friends on the cast, but y'all as friends definitely had her back on social media. So I think Stacy has really played into the being the fan favorite. I mean, it won her that award of best reality TV performance, and I also believe that this is the reason why Andy kind of said, Stacy, don't let this popularity. Are you gonna let this popularity go to your head?
And I
She's
said
like, no. She's like, no, but I think it is starting to be honest.
But they're saying that for a reason. They don't just say that.
Right.
That's foreshadowing. That's telling. They're building her up. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Jay. Just let me get this. I think they're building her up so high because they're gonna knock her down, and it's gonna be even better when they finally do. The rating's gonna be just as high. So you have to be careful because what goes up always.
That's what I was gonna say. But I also think, like, if we look at objectively, when Stacy came in, sure, she was going through this divorce with Timu. I think Stacy knew she was at a career crossroads. That's why I say I think Stacy looks at this too much like a job. Sure, yes, we all are being our exaggerated selves. I get that. I think that Stacy looks at this as, I'm just getting to the next level. Whereas you have other women who, they're probably not thinking about it that deep. So it's just like, that's why I think that, and I think Andy knows who Stacy. He knows it's Stacy. Stacy is probably not that different from a Bethany. She's not
a lifer.
She's not. She is. Yeah.
She's not a lifer. I never thought about that. She's not a lifer, and with her doing these high-profile public appearances, that is her getting. She's setting herself up. But you have to be careful. Bethany got out perfectly the first time she got out. season 3. She didn't come back season 4, and she was on a high season 3, and then she was pregnant, and all of the things that she had manifested, we were invested in at the time as viewers, and she was able to transition perfectly. You know what I mean? And Stacy could do the same thing. She just has to really navigate this situation well, and she cannot overstay her welcome. You can't stay long enough for the girls to take you out, because trust me, they want her out of that. They want to take her out. They want to take her down. But I do think, although I'm saying these things about Stacy, y'all, I think that Stacy fans, myself included, as a Stacy fan, but not what I'm going to say. I think that the great deal of her fandom is blissfully ignorant when it comes. And I hate
Yep.
I'm gonna call y'all ignorant, so please don't think I'm calling people ignorant. But what I'm saying is, there's a certain bliss they have in excusing everything she does,
Yep.
or they
Including her lies.
she does.
Can I?
Everything is a reason. Everything is a justification. And so, did y'all already talk about Stacy and Wendy and the Shio? Because I'm going to bust her ass.
So this is my last thing I'm gonna say. One thing I have thought about Stacy, and I've said this about. So the thing about Potomac is a very black show. The women on Potomac are very, AKAs, Delta. They're very into the black community. I sometimes think Stacy and Ashley are similar in the sense that they're black, but they're not black. And I think when you're in a group that is into blackness and is into black culture, and you have girls who feel like they just come in and do whatever to be on the show, or they're like, not saying, I'm not saying to police people's blackness, but you know what I mean. Like, I've said this about Ashley. Ashley don't have shit black in her life outside her little dry ass nappy hair. I don't see the same thing about.
Just don't understand why. I don't get it.
I knew it was coming. We can get into the Shio of it all.
Go ahead. Jay, I'll be back as soon as I feel like it.
So basically,
I got 17 stitches in my eye. And you're trying to make me pop them. I don't understand.
okay.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Out, you caught that one.
Well, yeah, I called it out. I mean, I live. I'm gonna start calling it that.
So Stacy does get called out by Giselle about stating and lying about her being asked last season because Giselle was the one who outed her, that basically she established she was already talking. I mean, how did Giselle it feels like Stacy told everybody but Wendy, and then when she was cornered at the reunion, she was like, no, I'm not doing that, right? And so
she was being
basically, the season opens up, her and Wendy are cool. You froze. Stacy and Wendy are cool, and they're having I don't know what's wrong with your internet. We didn't hear you. You lagged.
Am I lagging?
I don't know what's happening. Yeah. Go back and come back in.
Petty Peacock, I wanted to know what he had to say too, but he got to calling people stuff he shouldn't have said out of his mouth. Go ahead.
Yeah, so then the scene opens up where Wendy and Stacy are talking, and Stacy comes out and said, yeah, so I am, I'm gonna have my own cannabis, gummy. And Wendy's like, this is crazy. Didn't you just say you wasn't gonna do this? It's given single black female. And so, then they go back to the reunion and they're going back and forth. She was like, but at that time, I didn't know. I wasn't sure. She said, yeah, but just say you were having conversations, but don't sit here and say, no, you're not doing it. And fast forward, cameras pick up and come to find out you do have a cannabis brand. And so there's a lot of back and forth. What I will say is Stacy does a lot of semantics. She is the queen of semantics. Like, oh, technically it wasn't, a thing. I was just having meanings and all of that. But at the end of the day, Wendy comes and says, Well, I feel like she named it a Nigerian name to get back at me and Eddie for bringing up the TJ thing. But like Eddie didn't know that TJ was going to say that. That's the thing. Like you're blaming them for something that they really didn't know about. He called him on. Eddie called TJ on FaceTime. I'm lagging now. Okay. Called him on FaceTime. And then that's when it came out that he was allegedly being paid by Stacy to be her boyfriend on screen. So I like you getting mad at Eddie and Wendy for this, but you have to have somebody to blame, just like you blame Tia for something that she really didn't do. You know what I mean? So I just, in this sense, like it was really wild, but Wendy was just like, I feel like she definitely named it the Nigerian name to get back at me and Eddie, and Tia with her shady self said, well, the Nigerians would like it back.
I honestly think that Wendy watches us.
Huh?
I guess Wendy watches this. Hey
I
man,
feel like Wendy watches us because have I not been saying that all season?
I mean, you
Yeah,
have.
you did say that. You did.
I was so frustrated with Wendy because I'm like, why is she letting this girl play in her face like this to this degree? It's like bad.
The
Yeah.
Nigerian thing just really
Hey, girl, if you is Pam Oliver,
that
Wendy.
the
Hey,
Nigerian
Wendy.
the Nigerian thing just always kind of annoyed me because it's just like I'm not Nigerian, but I would never want to pick up someone's culture or
Mm-mm.
their heritage just to like, oh, hey, this is my cannabis line. Like now, look, if Stacy next season or 2 seasons, she's all about, yeah, I'm making jollof rice and blah, blah, blah. I'm doing Daddy December. Sure, girl. Yeah, be Nigerian is what you want to be. But it's just like, it felt so very much like, all right, it's two Nigerian women on this cast. One I don't like, one is my master. Like you just playing. That's what pissed me off. It's like you already played in our face about the whole whether you had conversations about the cannabis, whatever. But then it's like to add insult to injury, you do something that's not even indicative of who you are. What is Arabella gonna be wearing kente cloth next season? Is
Lord,
Arabella Nigerian now? Like,
but
girl,
I'm gonna give y'all some tea, okay? And it's not even tea. At the end of the day, if we all did our ancestry, I guarantee you, a lot of us would have Nigerian or something.
Because we're African Americans.
girl,
Exactly. So
you know
the fact
I'm
that this,
you know
the
I'm
fact,
from the diaspora.
right? So the fact that this woman is like, oh, I have a Nigerian ancestry, and I'm gonna name this product that I'm putting my name on a Nigerian name because of my newly found Nigerian heritage, really pissed me off. We all have it in our blood. Like
She
this is not nothing new.
she didn't call that Berlin or nothing from Germany.
Okay. Anyway.
She didn't call it Sound of Music.
Okay. This is another reason why I came up here, and I think I'm gonna drop down after this because I feel like I want to pop my eyeball out of the socket. Pray, Lord. This is what I've been saying the whole time, and I want y'all to walk with me through this, okay? Because I don't want to have to explain it ever again. So, last reunion, they ask her. They say, "Well, we heard that you're working on a cannabis line, right?" She denies that she's working on a cannabis line. That's a lie. Okay. It is a lie. Now, her excuse for the lie was that she does not owe them her business. She does not owe them her business.
Mm-hmm.
And so, whether it's withholding, whether it's outright denying, if you are questioned about a business and you come out about it with a business no less than months later, it's a lie, babe. It was a lie. She lied. Okay? So that's that. Let's just pack that up and put that away. She don't owe them ladies nothing about her business, but when she was asked about it, she did lie. And I don't it's okay. She lied. And so someone brought up earlier, I think it was Sean brought up earlier, y'all didn't get on Giselle. What about Giselle when Giselle was with Jamal? I don't think that's a fair thing to ask because you don't really know what the people were saying, I guess, because she was getting dragged. And I was one of the main ones dragging her. I got footprints. Go on back and find those Clubhouse records. She was getting dragged. And I was dragging her. So I'm going to have to be consistent across the board. If I drag one for a lie, no matter how big or small it is, I got to drag you for a lie as well. Okay? So he said that she didn't, whatever her answer was, she didn't give the answer up. Whatever it was, it ended up being a lie because she came out with the business. Oh, you're talking about the cast. Okay, yes. I'm just very consistent. So I want everybody to know that this is not a bash Stacy thing, but if it was anybody else, I would give them the same kind of heat. And I actually feel like I'm being nicer because it is Stacy.
I mean, I think ultimately the reality was I just think if we look
thank you, Wendy and Angel. Calm on down. Thank you. Okay, so like I was saying,
Ray.
like I was saying, yes, okay. So then we move forward, right? And the whole bring Eddie out thing happens with TJ. We come back. She has not only now discovered that she has of Nigerian heritage, she has decided to name the cannabis brand that she gave no information on. And so I'm going to have to go back and pull the tape because I feel like she denied it at the reunion. I feel like she said it's not true.
She did.
Okay, thank you.
Because it's not true.
Thomas is saying she didn't do that. Yes, she did. She said it wasn't true.
Yes, she did. She said it wasn't true.
It wasn't true at the reunion. Then she comes back and she has her 23andMe and found out that she's Nigerian, and she named the cannabis business that is in the same industry as the man and the woman who you blame for exposing TJ, even though it was not their fault. Eddie answered the phone and did the production call so they can get TJ on camera, and TJ dropped that information in their lap with cameras on. It wasn't off camera, it was on camera. And you don't get mad at TJ, or maybe you did get mad at TJ, you took it out on everybody else when it had absolutely nothing to do with them. And in the moment when they brought it up, you called Wendy a liar. You did not know who you stood with when you re-entered the group, and that was a part of her get back. You named that Nigerian business Shayo. Now, what does Shayo translate to?
Something happiness.
What is Eddie's business name?
Happy Eddie.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
I mean, but
the bitch playing in y'all face.
I think can we admit that like Stacy did not expect Giselle to really know her tea, like, because I think this is the thing, because I feel like, and I can whatever y'all know, I'm Jizzy Down, that's my girl. But I actually have never, I was surprised last season, Giselle never really has pulled anyone's like, oh, you doing X, Y, Z. It felt like she was very invested in knowing who the hell Stacy was. And I think Stacy thought that shit was cute. She thought that she came in, she had Karen on her side. She was wearing Vivian's little smelly dresses. She thought like, you know, she thought, you know, what, and I don't think that she expected like just Giselle may be a lot of things, but Giselle gonna keep her home of Potomac. She gonna keep her ear to the street. Stacy didn't expect that, and she hasn't been able to really come back from that.
And let me just go ahead and further submit the point for those who are still doubting after I've laid everything out in chronological order. You ready? Because now I'm gonna get into this season further. She meets with Tia. What does she tell Tia? I felt comfortable with you meeting Timo because you're the closest person to me in the group. Did she or did she not say that?
A lie.
Yes,
I mean, it was a fucking lie.
So to Wendy's surprise, when Tia says, oh, well, she says I'm the closest person to the group, to her in the group, Wendy's surprised and she calls her up because she's like, girl, I've been having your back this season when I should not have had your back this season. I've been having your back. So what do you mean Tia is the closest person to me? That is another sign. Girl, she was coming for Wendy and Eddie. She was coming for them because she has been rocking with, I don't think she expected Wendy to be cool with her like that this season. That came out of the blue for her. I do think that came out of the blue for Stacy, but she had already had that stuff set up and ready to roll, girl. And she's working. She's filming a show. just like, come on, y'all, come on, and I'm gonna keep going because y'all. I just feel like people think I'm making this up, and I'm just crazy because I hate Stacy and I don't. I love Stacy down, but she is doing what she's doing. Then they have a one-on-one, right? Wendy and Stacy, and they sit down and they talk, and they flash back to the scene where Stacy tells Wendy, "Oh, I'm having an event on this day as well. The same day as what? A Happy Eddie event.
Yep.
And you cannot come to the event because it's a conflict of interest. Girl, y'all better stop playing with me."
Sure
So you
did.
gonna,
Everybody
hey,
forgot about that part.
Chase, you gonna stay up here with us? It sounds like your eyes not giving you too much trouble.
Oh
Just
no, I'm actually getting down because I'm trying not to rub. I cannot rub it, but it is
don't
like,
rub it. You can. I want you. I miss.
y'all want to see it?
Stay with us. No,
No,
baby.
nobody will want to see that.
It's not that bad, y'all. Come on, don't do me
No.
like
Stay
No,
with
I don't want to see it.
Chase.
I'm good.
but don't do me like that. Jesus.
Chase.
I have a thing. I can't do too much.
No, me too. I think it's because it's my eye. But any other time, if I would have saw somebody else's, I would throw up. So I can.
Dr. Heavenly, stay with us. Heavenly kind, stay with
How about
us.
this? I'll come in when I feel like, I got something I want to say. But those were 2 points that no, because then I got to get Wendy together by Ashley. And I hate that I'm gonna have to get her together by Ashley. That is crazy to me.
Again, let's keep it moving because
I hate them. But I just wanted to go ahead and explain. I'm gonna let him rock with the Dr. Heavenly stuff because I can't really stress my eye out. I but remember that I never forget.
I love you. I love you,
I know you do.
bitch.
Now the people are saying, girl almost said something. The Dr. Heavenly almost came out of me.
I know. Your mama.
You almost
Yo,
got it.
mama.
Oh boy, it was that quick. I was like, nope, not gonna do it. I just wanted to go ahead and spell that out. And so that's why I said, has Wendy been watching us? Because the whole season I was like, why is she letting her get away with this? Why is she letting her play in her face? And I felt that it was strategic. I felt that
Yeah, she needed her by the end of the season. I tell you that.
Definitely clocked that Stacy was going to go down as the victor and she was going to get the spoils. And so you can even tell when Stacy's talking and they're cutting to Wendy's facials. Wendy don't really like her like that to that degree.
At all.
So this friendship that they're building that's budding, you've already told me this is work. I don't believe anybody's a friend on this show. And I want to say that I feel that it further legitimizes Kiana's point at the beginning of the show for me. And I've always said that I've agreed with Kiana when it comes to that.
Child.
She was confused. I'm just saying she seemed to be confused because she thought that they were building friendships. And now I think that she's realizing everybody is here working and I'm the only idiot out here trying to make friends. Now she needs to go ahead and figure out if this is a show for her. And the reason why I say that Kiana needs to figure out if this is the show for her is because it's quite evident that she does not these wouldn't be her type of girls. These are not her kind of girls. They just not. And I don't blame her for them not being her kind of girls, and she's straightforward and direct, but I think that there's a way that she could do it that is still entertaining. And unfortunately, she has not mastered that balance yet, or we're not seeing the balance to it yet. So, but I do understand why she's frustrated because as you're watching the dynamics, it's like nobody here is friends.
They're not. And, I think Stacy joining the cast is kind of exposing that. Because I don't know if we would have got that prior.
Yeah.
Right? Because Robin left. Now Jizzy and Robin are actually friends. It's not that Ashley and Giselle weren't friends, but I think, okay, we have to get closer to maintain, the hierarchy. Ooh, right?
I'm here, y'all. My eye just give me 1 second. Keep going.
But also, Tori, to your point, it's like, yes, Robin's gone, but Robin, Giselle, Karen, Ashley had some sort of friendship. Some were enemies. It's just like, and I think this is one of the things that made Potomac kind of stand out a little bit because yes, that group, they were, at each other's throats, but there was a real off-camera relationship. And now it's like with Karen not being there, the absence was even more.
Karen is the bridge because I got to push back on you, Jay. Yeah, those girls were friends. That group that you're referring to, unfortunately, for someone like me and a lot of the viewing audience, we didn't care because they weren't entertaining to us. And I'm not knocking anybody who did find them entertaining.
I'm
Yes,
just,
no shade, but they were a friend
like,
group, but
I'm just saying, even if you didn't like some of them, you could tell that they all,
they were tethered.
yeah, like they were tethered. Whether everyone hung out a lot off camera, there was still something
I
there
actually
where,
think Wendy's introduction is the start of that. If we're
Mm.
going back to it, because Monique still during Monique's initial run, they would hang out.
yeah,
They would hang out with her. They would go to her like her off camera stuff. If she had something, they would pull up. She would pull up to their off camera stuff. If she was invited, there's plenty of pictures that y'all can Google and see them at other functions together and stuff like that. Birthdays together, whether they liked each other or not, they were there. And that's not the vibe anymore. And that's been a thing. I'm not saying Wendy is the one to blame, and I'm not saying that she started it, but around like the fight in season 6 and onward, it's just been a divide in this group.
I agree. I mean, hell, even Mia, for all of her ghetto chaotic mess, she even had built relationships with them all. You know what I mean? It's just like there were still relationships off camera with a lot of the cast. It just, but Wendy has been the one. Wendy has been the outlier on Potomac who has not been interested in doing anything with these women if it's not filming.
Some of Demetrius said a great point of view about Kay. I actually hate that I feel this way, but I expected her. Like I was talking to my cousin today, and I said, before that fight, Kay was a lot of fun. Like I had watched some season 8 while she was a friend recently, and she was funny. She was like showing up in the fashion. She was pretty. It was fresh, and it was a much needed break because the group at its core had been arguing in a circle for about the same thing for about 3 seasons, right? So she was a breath of fresh air for me. And when I'm watching it, you could tell that they're excited to have her around. And I think what I thought that I was going to get was somewhat more of a Portia kind of vibe.
If Candace and Mia were there, she would have been.
Probably, yeah.
And I think that because I'm not getting that, I feel like that is where everybody is like, well, whoa, who is this? But honestly, we don't like this group. Well, we don't, not this group, but we don't like the girls. So I can't be upset with a girl who is actually in there filming with them, not liking them either,
I mean, but I think also Kay is just, listen, a Baltimore girl is a very unique type of girl. There is no universe where she would ever be with these women. Like, look, Robin from Baltimore, Giselle was in Baltimore, when Jamal had his church. Like she had, like, when she came in, Candace, I mean, she's not from Baltimore, but Kay had people who kind of fit her politic a little bit more. And now she's a fish out of water because
she could lead that though. You can still be there. They need somebody to come in there. Like when Jazzy came to Nevis and was twerking and taking shots, everybody was like, "Oh, thank God!" You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, somebody's having fun. And
well, Jazzy's just there to show up for the opening of an envelope. And I like you, Jazzy.
Well, listen, somebody's got to do it. Tori B, I'm gonna let you back to your show and go ahead and keep running on the things. Before we do that, though, there was something else that I wanted to mention. My cousin said to me that, well, maybe that's it. Maybe she hasn't been the same since the fight. And then I think about last season and how she said that Greg did not want her to do the show, and her demeanor was a lot more muted because of the fight. And that is exactly it. That fight changed the trajectory of her, and I would have loved to see I don't have to love to see that. I would like to see it, but she doesn't owe us that. I do think that fight has done a lot more damage than we're privy to in her relationship and in the way that she moved on the show. And it's been a hard balancing act for her. And I hate that for her. But, I would have made that a storyline. Like, how do because that was like, a fight is one thing, but to get on national, like in a group that's on television and to be cut with a hit with a bottle, I think that's traumatic. I actually think that's pretty traumatic, and so they don't bring it up, but I would have loved to see her explore that more so we can get, because I feel like there's something that we're not getting. And so I don't know. These girls are really an interesting case. I think that the group as a whole is the most interesting the show has been in quite some time. I think there's a lot that they can continue to explore with the group, but the people trying to get rid of the girls, I can't necessarily say I'm in disagreement of a lot of the girls that they will cast away because, it is what it is. You've had your chances, so I don't know at this point. Tori B, what's next? Is it Wendy and Ashley, or no? What's next?
It's Ash. I mean, it's Angel.
Oh, please get to that. Yes.
Oh, sadness.
So yes, we come upon Angel's segment where we talk about how tumultuous it's been. She had a rough, to say least, freshman year. And one of the things Andy brings up is a tweet that mentions how Kay and Angel, although have been friends for almost 20 years, it does mention how they were called sadness and
Sadness.
madness. And so it was really interesting to hear that. Um, and
Bobby
so
and Greg's girl. That's what it is. Bobby's world and Greg's girl.
what is also kicked off is Giselle's whole calling Angel a catfish, which Giselle kind of elaborates on as well. She mentions, oh, well, a producer had shown me a picture of Angel. And she was like, when am I going to meet this girl? And the producer was like, stop playing, Giselle. She was like, no, what? And so she had to say that, right? Um, but nobody believed her. Then it was then she it's also the evicted conversation of her rental property in Potomac, and the cash trip that really did not go well, which most of them would say is the trip from hell. And so she showed up to the reunion to address it all. A lot of it is also, a back and forth between everybody. Them mentioning the Kiana saying the chin check comment, the other part of, Angel kind of saying that Wendy said the catfish comment when it wasn't Wendy, and the back and forth between that. There's even another point where Kay was a little bit riled up, I would say, and also, wouldn't, kind of interjected in, the conversation between Wendy and Angel.
She said
I'm sorry, say that again.
Kay wasn't on mute. Because
No.
let me tell you, I forgot Kay was on the stage.
No, in that part, she basically shut Angel down to say what she wanted to say.
Child, because I thought Kay was.
Did y'all watch that correctly?
What do you mean?
Did y'all? I just want to know. Tell us. I can't. I was sworn not to, but I did want to go ahead and debunk that. But I can't. If I can, I will. But I can't tell you.
Well, that's how the editing showed it.
No. I'm talking about in the group chat. No, I'm referring to but now back on stage about that because Wendy and Kiana started talking at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what happened. They were speaking at the same time. Kiana wanted to get her point out. Wendy kept speaking. Normally one acquiesces, but because they hate each other's guts, which I think is just like, when did it get that bad? Like the way that they were making looks at each other the whole reunion is like they want to fight. Like when did it get? Maybe I guess watching the show, but like I said, remember I told y'all at the beginning of the season there was a lot of stuff that was cut out that some people were saying, but not the stuff that other people were saying. Remember?
Right, you did say that.
So maybe that tracks. That tracks, I guess. Like there's a lot of bad blood and a lot of things that we just didn't get to see.
And also, I mean, Kay has gotten a lot of cojones in the off season. Like you could tell between BravoCon on, Kay has really been feeling herself.
Well, because she's been going viral consistently, and the people been making she's been going viral. But as I was saying, they were speaking at the same time. Neither one of them acquiesced. What Wendy did, Wendy pulled a Angela Oakley, and she stepped back. And as Angel continued to talk, when Kiana was already speaking first, Kiana snapped on
Mm-hmm.
Angel. So Kiana is still like, it's still weird that she snapped on Angel, but Kiana's point was that she was talking first. So it wasn't that she was putting Angel in check because she runs her. She was checking anybody could have gotten that at the moment. It just had, that's what I feel, because she was so upset that nobody was letting her speak. As everybody's saying, they forgot that she was even on the stage. So the one time she tries to speak, Wendy was over talking her while she was trying to speak, and then here comes Angel trying to get her point out. Three people talking. Wendy stopped. And while Wendy stopped, Wendy is over on the other side of the couch egging them on. Really? I mean, what's going on with that? You can't. Well, what's the, you know? And then she snaps on Angel because Angel is trying to speak too. Yes, she snapped on Angel, but I don't think it was because she was running Angel and Angel is my minion. I think that if anybody else would have spoke, they would have got the same smoke. I do.
Angel and Kay are not friends. And I feel like I'm tired of them trying to pretend, oh, we've known each other for 20 years. We have this one picture of us
Okay, well, maybe this is funny.
in
Maybe
club.
this, yes.
Like, I'm just like, girl, Kay, you weren't at Angel's wedding. Y'all are not, and I get it. Look, the nature of casting for these shows, I get it. Sometimes you get somebody who you have some sort of relationship with, but y'all are not friends. And Kay does not give a F about Angel.
I think that they are friends. I just don't think that they're like close. I think that
Well, when I say not friend, I don't think that she hates. When I say she doesn't give a F about her, I think that they do have a relationship, but Angel is not her girl. I think if Kay had her way, she'd probably bring some little roundaway chick from Baltimore City to be her girl on there. Angel is
that's Bravo though, Jay. That's a Bravo
you know,
thing.
and that's why I say,
Yeah,
but
no,
it's
we just talking. I'm not saying that you're not
yeah,
saying that. That's a
it's
Bravo thing, I think, because I
yeah.
think that the more accurate description, if Kay could have the description, not be Bravo-fied, would be, I've known her for 20 years. We cool.
Child, they
Yes.
probably had
You know
drinks
what I
at the
mean?
bar, and
Yeah,
that
people be cool with it, but I wouldn't say that that's my friend. But yeah, we cool. Yeah, I know her. Yeah, we used to go out together. We used to have same friends. We used to be in the same industry. She was in journalism, and she would hire me to do hair. So like, we cool. I know her. Yeah, I think that would have been a great way. But Bravo likes those terms, the friend group as opposed to castmates. When we were in New York, as opposed to when we were at the reunion, you get what I'm saying? Like they like those the group, like they like those terms. Those are like Bravo-fied terms because I really feel like we can't deny that discount that they've known each other all that time, but are they friends? I think that's a stretch.
you
No,
know
because she ain't never been to that house in Colorado till the
that's
trip. And
now I
that's the other part of that is that it's fake and it's not real.
It's
Like Kay is not the type of friend that Angel would be to her.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Their friendship is not equal either way. So it's not real. I'm sorry. I peeped that from the jump.
So I know we got to move on, but one thing that I thought was a missed opportunity this season, I thought when Kay and Sadness were walking, and she's like, "Oh, that used to be my bottle girl." Like I thought that threesome, how they know each other socially, DC. I thought that would have been something interesting. Yes, if she was just her bottle girl, you don't know her. I think that threesome group, if they talked about how they knew each other on the scene, that could have been something more interesting to explore. And it could have felt a little bit more organic than Sadness and Madness acting like, they were sleepaway camp sisters.
But that's a Bravo thing. They always do that. Remember, Bravo tried to make like, I had a bone to y'all tried to whip my ass over the fact that I kept saying Kiana and Wendy ain't motherfucking friends. How long have I been saying that?
Yeah, you've been
Y'all,
saying that.
y'all was so upset with me, and I kept saying they are not friends. She's just is doing this. Wendy is saying this because A, it's a Bravo thing, and B, she does not like NECA. So anything that she can do
My
to
girl.
justify the fact that she does not fuck with NECA because she does not know her, even though the girl was at the daggone christening event, but you don't know her. You know what I mean? Like it's the Bravo of it all. It's the Bravo of it all.
Child. Well, I'm a hush because I know we got to keep moving on.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh, girl.
You know, according to Angel, she was hazed this season
Well,
and she felt like she didn't get a fair shot. And they did not make her feel welcome and kept dragging her. And one minute they're good and one minute they're not. And Ashley showing up to the Potomac and Ponies party with a tray full of catfish. So the catfish was brought by Ashley.
Child.
Anybody got a catfish? Okay.
Child. It's given
that's
Angel.
what I laugh at.
It's given Angel wanted to make line for AKA at Temple and couldn't.
All of the above, but I'm gonna just tell you this. Ashley, Ashley consistently tells people, just laugh it off, just get over it. That's just a joke. Bitch, that shit ain't funny, and nothing about it is funny. And that is why I don't like. I don't want to say I don't like because I don't know her, but that is what grinds my gears. That is not operating in reality. You cannot call me a catfish all season and then bring catfish if me and you are not cool. Now, if we made up and made amends and we good and we having a good time for the rest of the season, and then you bring the catfish, I may be able to laugh it off. Maybe.
Yes,
but they were not in that spot, and you were just recently calling it saying the girl was evicted and all of the above. What makes you think that you were in that spot to do something like that? You're just not in that spot. So no, actually it is egregious and it is disrespectful, and you have a propensity to do that and then tell people to laugh it off, but you don't laugh nothing off when it comes to you.
I 100% agree with you, which I never do, but I also felt
that's a lucky one.
Girl, I also felt like Ashley was subtly trying to give her like, I'm giving you a housewife line. Like I'm giving you like tap in, clock in. Like, yes, Ashley was not being, but it's also like, girl, I'm laughing off. You're here. Be in the moment. Be a housewife. And Angel still she just don't get it.
But
no,
that's
I get what you're saying, though, Jay. I get what you're saying. Yeah, like I'm not going to sit here. I think Ashley's job is to provoke a lot of things, and the fact is that if you don't stand 10 toes down and get back and jump back in them girls' face or come back with something shady, then they're going to continue to poke. And that's what happened with Angel. She was not able to stand on her own too and just come back with some other shady comment. Instead, she waited until she got in front of her sister and then said some slick shit, which landed her in trouble because what you said was some real bullshit.
Your sisterly courage, liquid courage, all of sometimes you get courage in other places. But what I will say is what I think that we watched was a normal person. We watched two somewhat normal people, even with Kay, navigate TV bitches. These girls out here doing TV. And for people who may have watched a show or may not be really clued in or keyed into that world, it's like, well, what's really the real? What's the real, what is this? Like, especially for someone like Angel who does not have that in her space at all. Like, what is this? And then the girl practice mindfulness and all of that.
She's too nice to be on reality.
I think she gets it now. But even then, I don't know if she gets it enough.
Yeah.
I mean, so I just saw Miss 24 EE's comment, like talking about why does she need to clock in? She clocked in, showing her husband's or whatever. You still have to clock in because this is a show. I think the thing is you have to suspend your reality and also give an augmented part of your reality. And that is my issue with Angel. No one's saying like you have to completely abandon who you are, but no one in life is ever going to be in a group of friends where we just pick up a camera and film for 3 months. We don't talk for 6 months. This is not normal stuff. That's the reality. But if you know this is not normal, this is who you are.
I don't think she knew that though, Jay. I think she knows it now. I don't think she knew it then.
Now, okay. I will say I think hindsight is 2020. I'm sure when the show is aired. And I'm sure the show is aired. She's seen what other women are talking, about her. Sure. I think she could come in to another season, which I don't want her here for, but she could come back and maybe act, like she got some sense. But I just also feel like Angel is just too. These women are not. They're everyone's concerned about that. Angel is too concerned about her image. This is never all her healing and putting, elderberry in my tea, and I'm just over here sound bath and Bobby. She's too worried about this wanderlust shit that she's trying to put. She's not meant for the show. And I wish she could find duality, but she's been so committed to trying to be, oh, okay, here I am. Girl, no.
That's a good point, TKC, and it's rare for me to agree with you on this.
That's my boy, not too much.
What did he say?
TKC says Angel was a mean girl wag, but she wasn't ready for reality TV mean girl.
And a mean girl wag. And see, Jazzy is a wag that's meant for TV. Angel's a wag that's meant to be a wag. They're two different wags. Because Jazzy understands what it means to be a wag and be on TV. Jazzy gets it. Angel don't get it. She thinks that, okay, Bobby, okay, wanderlust, I'm lost in Colorado. She thinks that's, no, girl, get in the field.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, what's next?
So it is the whole unfortunate, the Forrest Whitaker comment that Angel made about Wendy when she had the conversation with her sister, which I'm going to say, I told y'all I was taking notes on her ass after she said it. And I told y'all initially that I froze a little bit. That basically it was inappropriate for her to say this, especially since she is very insecure about how she looked. And she was so mad about the catfish comment that she made a comment about Wendy in this way. And it was very derogatory the way I looked at it. It was just really, really inappropriate, especially, I'm a note, especially because, not just because of the aesthetics, but because you said this, because you claimed Wendy made the catfish comment when it was actually Giselle who made the comment. So where was this energy? Where was this energy with Giselle who actually made the catfish comment? I'm freezing again. All right. When she made the comment, where was that energy for Giselle? But you misdirected all of this energy towards Wendy, and it wasn't rightfully deserved. Yes, Wendy and her were going back and forth, but like for her to say that Wendy made this comment, which I don't know where the hell she got that from, because it was very clear that Giselle said it.
I mean, I think if we, oh, sorry, Chase, what were we going to say?
Madness told her.
Kiana told her that, Kiana said in a moment that, hey, what is this? I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Kiana said that, I'm trying to figure out what that's about. Okay, anyway, sorry, y'all. Kiana said in the moment that, Kiana said that it was Wendy who did it. And everybody was like, no, it was Giselle. I disagree when you say Wendy got whatever she got from Angel undeservedly. Wendy deserved what she got from Angel, but so did everyone else. And that is the crux of the issue I have with Angel in regards to this. You should have had the energy for Giselle as well as for Ashley. Stacy laughed too. My thing is, yeah, everybody know normally when something go down, not only is the person who got you fucked up getting cussed out or beat up or whatever you're gonna do to them, but the person laughing hard normally get cussed out too. Everybody know that in the blackout. Everybody, black friends. Oh, you think that shit funny? I never forget. Never forget. Yeah. Ninth grade algebra class. I'm in the front seat. This girl was behind me, and my friend Erica was behind her. Remember those huge calculators that we said, like the algebra calculators?
83, yeah.
Erica tossed me the calculator, right? So Erica tossed the calculator to me, and when Erica tossed the calculator to me, it hit the girl in the back of the head, right? So Erica was like, "Oh!" The girl turned around, and was like, "Are you fucking serious?" And then I had bust out laughing because y'all know me, especially me in high school. Oh my god, just goofy, right? So I bust out laughing. That girl turned around and looked at me and said, "You think that shit funny?" And I turned into that man off for Friday. I said, "No." She was like, "You want some of this? Like, what's up? You think that's funny?" Like, everybody know the person who laughed gonna get cussed out too. It's just what it is. Because you think it's funny, or you think I'm a joke, right? So Wendy deserved what she got. I'm sorry, but Wendy was not the only one who deserved what she got. She should have
I
had smoke for everybody.
I agree with you. I think
Look at you.
I know, child.
Yes, girl. Welcome. Welcome.
Oh, shut up. I don't ever want to agree with you again.
Mhm.
I think the thing is, sadness.
Shut up, though, baby. Go ahead.
Shut it up. Shut
Okay.
it up.
We're gonna
Shut
You
let's
gonna
shut it
pull
over
your
there.
mask. I knew
Okay,
it.
what we was because we're gonna shut it up. We just shut it up. You see?
I'm not saying that Wendy shouldn't have got
No,
something
let
from.
her get us let her get her
What I
stuff.
was gonna say was, I think,
Yeah, let her get our rocks off. I just
think,
want to let her know don't play with me.
girl, I think Sadness and her sister been flapping their gums about Wendy on Threads because that's where they
Yep,
did that.
I did see that. Clock
I
it.
think the thing is they clearly have something. I get it. They have had interactions before. Sadness's sister would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm in the street. I knew Wendy." Blah blah. I get it. They have a pre-existing beef or issue with Wendy. Giselle is not their girl. That's not in they circle. So I think that they were laser targeted. Be like, okay, well, you've been playing with my sister back in the day. Blah blah blah. Now that we on the show, we're gonna get our lick back with you. And I think that that's why they were so concerned with trying to humble Wendy on camera to what everyone has been saying. Yes, Giselle was the one who was saying a lot more, but they too worry about their pre-existing beef with Wendy to keep their eyes to what is actually happening.
Is it fair to say that Angel was fighting Kiana's battle with Wendy?
Yes, it was. We saw that at the table when they had that initial issue.
Well, I mean,
But
I still feel like Angel was in her rights to get Wendy together about it. I do. But I do think that
I'm
she was
wait.
charged about it.
I'm gonna tell you why I have an issue with that. That means you're a punk, and I'm saying that towards Angel because fine, and Wendy laughed. You just admitted other people laughed, but the original comment came from Giselle, and you never. No, you did, and Nevis, you did say
Cried.
something to Giselle.
She cried.
Right. So
Yeah.
my thing is that you a punk because you could not address Giselle when Giselle was the originator of this whole catfish conversation. And the fact that you keep blaming Wendy for it is that you have to blame somebody, but you don't want to go up against Giselle. And that's where I have the problem. You know what I mean? It's not about, so if everybody laughed, then address everybody. Don't just address Wendy.
Absolutely.
Wendy, but where was the energy for Giselle?
No,
Y'all,
absolutely.
like Jay said, her sister and her clearly they all had some history, but to me it just seemed so misaligned, and it was just so you had something against Wendy to blame her for something here. I don't know what it is. It could have been the stuff
Better
with
than
Kay.
me.
Either way, you were wrong for blaming Wendy.
Because I would have brought that history right at the table. I would have said, and you already know not to play with me because you treading on thin ice, Miss wanting to be down. And now you acting big and mighty because you on the show, but you wanted to be down. You've been trying to be down with me since 06. What's the tea? I would have got her together too. That's how you do it. That's how you get
she didn't. She's not. That's why I gotta call her out for being a punk. Because
but yeah, she's a punk, definitely. But she ain't no punk because we saw she cussed that lady out. She called her a bald head, snaggletooth heifer, whatever she called that lady. So she ain't no punk. I think that she, for whatever the reason, she definitely had.
Wendy got back when she said, "And I'll be wrong for calling you James Earl Jones, right?"
I'm sorry, that shit had me screaming. Cause
I was like, "Where did that come from?" Like,
no,
whoa.
but she right.
No, well, let's talk about it because a lot of people have. There's a lot of discourse around it, and they think that a lot of people feel like that comment is disproportionate because they feel like Angel was not saying that Wendy's features make her look like Forrest Whitaker. She was saying that she had features similar to Forrest Whitaker, and there's the difference. And so to call her James Earl Jones is disproportionate, and that's fat phobic when the girl wasn't. I'm just saying, hold on, wait.
I agree.
Do you get what I'm? There is. Come on now. We gotta talk
I
about it
might
right.
agree with you, but I never thought Sadness was being featurist or whatever. I didn't think that. I think you were just saying, well, you look like an ugly nigga when you make a face. Like, okay. But also you might kind of resemble James Earl Jones. Like,
But also,
Exactly.
what's
but,
good for the goose, good for the gander.
right.
It's
But let
still
me say this.
featureism. The way you look at it, it's still featureism, and
But
there
it
is a
also could be
correlation
considered.
between
It
the
also could
two.
be considered fat phobic too. But
No,
That
he was. She wasn't. Look, she
but
wasn't
I'm just
referring
saying. I
to
get
her
it.
being a larger
Well,
girl. She was
listen.
referring to her facial
Hold on,
features.
baby. Well, thank you, sweet pea. Um, I
you see
think
how
that.
Tracy left down. I'm off, my eye hurts, but I'm here. I'm still talking.
I mean, my eye does hurt, but the people were begging me up here to stay. You was begging me up here to stay, so that's why I
Man,
stayed.
I do miss you, so
Okay,
stay.
so then shut the hell up about it. Okay. Anyway, um, I think that in regards, catch that. Now I think that just because I say something, I'm telling y'all what the discourse is, and we're having a conversation about the discourse. That does not necessarily mean that I agree with the discourse, because I brought up the points that the people are making is for all of us to discuss them. So I want everybody to stop associating me with talking points unless you hear me say that I agree. Okay.
Okay, Marlo.
All right. Thank you. Now, all right. Thank you so much, very much so, Lisa Wu. Yeah. And so
You
You a
girls from
drunk. You said you a drunk.
Gainesville,
You
Florida,
said
really
you a
got some
drunk.
nerve.
I caught that. You called him a
Gainesville,
drunk.
Florida.
I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, let's move forward. Um, as I was saying, that doesn't mean that I agree with the point. I'm just talking about what's going on, right? I'm the kind of girl to read for a read. I ain't got time to sit and try to figure out why you call me Forrest Whitaker, James Earl Jones. I ain't got time for that. So if you don't want me coming for you, don't come for me.
Fair.
That's where I'm at. But I do think that there is a point that people were like, litigating the intent behind what she meant. And it is nice to know the intent behind what people mean when you're offended by what they say. So you can be appropriately offended. Either way it goes, you compare me to Forrest Whitaker, whether you say I look like him or have his features. I don't want to be compared to Forrest Whitaker. James Earl Jones.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
All right, what else is going on? What else is it? What else? What else?
Okay.
Cynthia wants us to move on.
Clearly. That's all we have for Angel.
That's all she should have.
We can move on to the
I don't know why
Ashley.
she and her daughter are not talking so much.
We can move on to the Ashley and Wendy of it all.
Please.
There was a dig that Ashley took. She made fun of, and this was off camera, right? Because cameras were not up when Eddie and Wendy were arrested. It happened during one of her live performances. And she remarked how Zen Wen is in the pen, and we saw this clip circulating around social media. Ashley stated that she tried to apologize at BravoCon and at the reunion, and she also claimed she didn't know the severity of Wendy's situation at the time of the comment. Wendy, however, is not feeling that and says she wasn't really interested in hearing that because Wendy claims Ashley has always had a hidden vendetta against her. Ashley says it wasn't necessarily a vendetta. Instead, she says she has some pent up thoughts about how Wendy came into the show in season 5, boasting about her degrees and using them to put down other women. And then they go on to, spar a little bit. I don't vilify my accomplishments, Ashley said. And then Wendy responded by saying, because you don't have none. And Ashley shut that down by saying, bullshit, bitch. I have one social security number.
My God, today.
Oh.
So just like we said, the James Earl Jones is fair game.
Child.
You have to watch it. That elite, it's so funny. That elitism stuff, that's gonna have to go out the window, boo. It's over. You have to hang that up, baby. Because every time you try to come with that elite stuff, somebody gonna throw those accusations in your face. It's a wrap. I as much as I have been vocal that Chrome Dome has really grinded my gears this season. You know, Cranium has really done her big one as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sick of it. I gotta say some things that Wendy said that I took issue with. But first, before we get to that, I do want to go ahead and acknowledge that Ashley talking about, well, who was I mean to? Who did I offend? What's the girl name? Angel said, uh,
Oh yeah.
hello. I thought that was so funny. She was like, are you serious? Like, girl, what? That's how you can tell them girls playing TV, but it's always easy to play TV at other people's expense, right? And so, you know, that's just something that Ashley should think about. Anyway, and then she got ate up because I think, did I miss where Angel was like, she was like, Ashley was like, oh, is it 600 acres or something like that? Did I miss that part?
Oh yeah, because she no, I didn't mention that.
Oh,
So yeah,
baby. Angel ate her up. Baby. Angel, she said, I mean, because if you could, you know, if you could, you wouldn't know because you don't stay in Potomac. Oh, I could have. I chose not to, baby. And let me tell you something. We've been talking about the amount of elitism on this show, but I don't give a damn. I give that a pass because when Angel looked at her and that James Earl Jones 10 got the poking out, she say, sure. I said, oh, because sure, Ashley, I'm sure they have plenty of base model single family homes in Potomac that you could move into. I think not. Girl, please get on the hell on somewhere with that bullshit. Now, moving on, I just want to give Angel her 8s, not her 10s, because that was cute.
No, Sadness nibbled that, and I
Oh,
like.
she threw her up, and you see Ashley move right the hell on, didn't she? Oh, okay, well, let me
like,
not come over here with that.
In the area, you would know, but
No, you don't say that.
But I think this also goes back to what we've been saying about Ashley is that now that she's got that settlement money, and I do believe she got a nice settlement. Ashley clearly not the brokest on Potomac. She's feeling herself, and I think that like Angel pretty much like, well, girl, before you got your money, you couldn't afford to live anywhere but that little house, that apartment that you were living in when Michael put you out. That's what she was really trying to say. But if I'm being fair, Ashley has more money on her own than Angel has without Bobby's money. So it's we're cyclical. Going back to when Giselle said about Monique, without your husband's money, you would not be here. Same about Angel.
Tori B.
Yeah, but she had to lay on her back and bear children with that ugly man to do it.
I think if we look at the whole thing about Potomac, the only self-made, I'm not talking about divorce or alimony, whatever. Really, if we're keeping it being the only self-made woman in Potomac is Giselle.
Oh, girl. Okay. Anyway.
No. I'm saying when I say self-made, what I'm saying.
Ever you didn't go anywhere, child.
What I'm saying, when I say self-made, yes, she has Jamal's alimony. She has all of that first lady stuff. But let me back up. The only people who have pedigrees,
her booty must taste good.
Candace and Giselle, the only who have pedigrees.
Top two.
Are we keeping? Are the only two who have pedigrees Candace and Giselle? Yes.
Okay. Well, you said she was self-made.
What I'm saying is though, like Giselle, sure, yes. But when I say self-made, what I'm saying is like whatever she dealt with after her divorce, she bounced back. She bounced back. Okay. Ashley's a bed wench.
I got a super chat. Read it, please.
Is Ashley not
Dom Jones 5?
Karen,
thank you.
Karen is a bed wench. Amy's a bed wench. Are they? Did Karen not marry up until she found Ray at the CBC?
Well, she not claiming to be self-made. You the one that come about Giselle self-made.
No,
we got a super chat, Buka dude.
You would do. throwing money.
Throwing dollars into the Black History Month jar, and Gizzard can go to hell every season. Thank
Candace
you, and I would agree with
Love, we
agree
appreciate you.
because of Dorothy and her little
you. Yes,
popcorn
love. Thank you.
Thank
psychology.
you, love, for the super chat. We do greatly appreciate you guys. Funding No Chase TV to keep the lights on around the thing with the people. We appreciate you guys. Can I say that we about to hit 100,000 on Facebook, y'all.
We are. Wow.
I just checked today, and that was because I have not been looking. And I was like, well, great day.
And this is only our second season.
Yeah, so we gotta figure out, we gotta celebrate some things. It's time to have some celebrations and hooping and hollerations around the dancery. Now let's go ahead and get into this thing because I think we got callers that want to come up tonight, and we're gonna go ahead and do this and give the people the call line and come on up here and talk about this reunion down to the thing with us. Now, I wanted to say this in regards to Wendy and Ashley. For Wendy to say, "What are your accomplishments?" Um, Regardless to whether or not she has things that may be tangible. Y'all can agree or disagree. I thought that, it just is not. Immediately when she came out, I said, that's not going to age well. It's not going to age well for a number of things, for a number of reasons. But to me, when you ask someone, what are your accomplishments in an attempt to belittle them, I find it suspect because you're sitting across the couch on the same platform as them.
True.
Now, arguably, you could say that Ashley's biggest accomplishment is being an original cast member on The Real Housewives of Potomac.
She's
If
not though.
you're
She's
going
on
to say
season
that,
two.
I'm just, who, Ashley?
Also a pageant winner.
No, hold
Wendy
on, wait. No, hold on, wait.
taking out loans to get
Hold on,
degrees.
boo-boo. Hold on, boo-boo. Arguably, you could say, I know, Kyra, but you could say that if that is an accomplishment, then what Ashley did is something that Wendy aspired to be as well. Because Ashley is the blueprint for Potomac, whether you like her or not. She is a part of the original cast. They laid the groundwork for you to come in 5 seasons later and join the platform that they were already on. So when you ask someone what their accomplishments are, as you have all of these degrees and all of these accomplishments that we're not knocking you for, Wendy, but I don't think that that's a good read. For me, it doesn't land because at the end of the day, whether I have a degree or no degree, I'm on the same couch as you, and I was here first. So that means to me that you saw what I was doing and wanted to come up here and do it too.
That's fair.
That's all I'm saying.
But also, I mean, to your point, Chase, like if we're talking about we're all on the same couch, Ashley is the youngest housewife outside of Joe De La Rosa from OC. Ashley started Potomac when she was 26. I know there will be a lot of other girls who wish that they were 26 on reality TV. That may not be an accomplishment for some people, but let's not act like Ashley has been really sitting pretty for the majority of her adult life.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I ain't sitting pretty on what? A predator's lap?
No. But what I'm saying, when I say sitting pretty, to her, how many women have been casted on a national reality show from when they were in their 20s? I'm not saying that Ashley is this amazing person, but what I'm saying is the fact is Ashley has been at this a lot longer and a lot younger than these women. And that does say a lot, because I guarantee you all these women, I don't care if you got 10 degrees, if your daddy was the president, everyone would have wanted to be on a Bravo reality show in their 20s. Ashley's the only person who's been able to do it.
Yes.
Ashley only stayed on the show because of Michael. Nonetheless, she's
on the show because of Michael.
But I hate that. I don't want to give Ashley anything, but I have to disagree with Wendy in that moment. That's all.
I don't think it was. I don't think the accomplishment was a read. I don't think it was a read. It didn't.
No, it was definitely a read. She was reading her.
No, but what I mean is, it's a read that did not land.
But it was an attempt. She thought,
right?
And before Wendy BC, you know what BC stand for, right?
Before credit cards,
before charges. BC Wendy, she would have ate that up, pat the girls up, and kept it moving. Now,
no,
she can't really do that no more. She can't say it no more.
But Ashley is not, to me, an accomplished woman. Not
good. I'm not.
I'm just saying. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that. What I'm saying to you is, like Stacy said, her husband did embarrass her multiple times, and she functions and pulls these gotcha moments like Michael didn't embarrass you. Like Michael was not accused of grabbing a producer's ass
She
on
was
the
not
show.
embarrassed because she is down with that shit.
I
That's
No,
mean,
no,
what
no.
she
I
said.
understand what. Hold on. I understand what you're saying, but to me, I'm just saying that although some people may find her entertaining and messy, I think she is a step up from Mia, and that's not something to be proud of. The fact that she thinks that she has a very good career at singing is beyond delusion at this
I don't
point.
think you
no.
supposed
So
to be
for
that
me,
serious, Courtney.
Mia
I'm
wanted to be.
just saying,
Let's keep it a bit. Mia wanted to be Ashley.
Huh? Oh,
ew,
okay. You
it's
gotta
all
understand
disgusting
No, no,
looking
no,
at
no, no.
both
Hear,
of them.
hear me
what I'm
out.
saying.
When I say
As
when I
far
say
as the
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 bar is set
preference.
to hell
no. When I say
based on
Mia
those
wanted
things.
to be Ashley, I'm not saying she wanted to actually be
No,
Ashley.
I get what you're referring to as
Yeah,
far as the
Mia had
lifestyle,
the same
right?
concept, older man. It just worked better for Ashley than it did for Mia. Ashley is the most accomplished sugar baby on Bravo.
Oh, okay. I've had enough. We have a caller. We're gonna
That's
let her
gross.
up.
I can't. Yeah, put
Hi,
somebody
Kyra.
else.
How are you? Thank you for calling in.
Chase, you know you want my ace and coons on YouTube, but I'm gonna have to tear you up with this Ashley nonsense.
Well, no, I listen. I'm just saying it's not. I just think that anytime we on the same couch, I mean, I understand
No, okay,
that ultimately,
no.
I'm just boiling it down. I'm not reducing anyone's accomplishments.
It feels
Wendy,
like it.
well, I'm not because Wendy feels like her accomplishments are based in her
Let's run
degrees.
the
And
tape.
well, hold
Let's
on,
run
wait.
the tape.
Well, she did agree. I mean, excuse me, she does feel that way. But I'm often reminded of when she pulled that same thing on season 5 with Karen, and Karen said that she may not have degrees, but common sense is a saving grace, and she's blessed with it. And I think that aged well because look where we are now. Go ahead, Kyra.
Who said that?
Okay, so we don't.
Karen
Well,
said,
Karen
Who
said that,
said
hold
that?
on,
Nobody
wait,
but
hold on,
it,
hold on,
I,
Karen can't even keep her shots down
yeah,
without
hold
cracking
on.
the bar.
Please, okay, just give 1 second.
and, you know, we like to have a debate, but
Hold
okay,
on,
I
Kyra.
cannot
Hold on,
receive this from
Kyra.
football head.
Kyra. Give me one
Oh,
second.
mhm,
Give me 1 second. That's not just give 1 moment, everybody. Okay.
no problem.
Um, Tori B. Uh,
Okay.
Karen and Wendy had been embroiled in a feud all of season 5. Wendy kept, I have 4 degrees and da da da. You don't have a degree, so nobody can tell me nothing without no degree. And not a one, Karen. You don't have one. And Karen said, well, I don't have a degree, but I've been blessed, and common sense is a saving grace. And I've got plenty of it. I've been able to be financially okay and stable, without the degrees, right? And I said that I think that when we look at that comment and the way that it's aged in both ways, it's interesting to see it because look at where they both ended up with degrees and without degrees. So to me, when people throw the degree thing in your face, it does not land for me. And I wish that Ashley would have operated in the truth of it all, which is the first impression is the lasting impression. And I haven't really rocked with you since, but instead Ashley has been trying to be that girl's friend and do the TV thing and all that stuff, which is fake, right? But I do think that first impressions can be lasting ones. And when Wendy came on the show, her first impression was all about the degrees and Dr. Wendy and all that stuff. Now we're going to allow Tyra. I'm thinking about the daggone documentary, Tyra. I'm so sorry. We're going
I
to
know
allow
you are not.
time
We need to
uninterrupted.
talk about that on Hot Topics because
Yes.
Tyra is on some bullshit. But
But
She is.
we're gonna let Kyra have her time uninterrupted. Go ahead, Kyra.
Because you know, me and football head, we in it for life. Anyway, I cannot receive that from football head because she's the same one who sat up on either, I believe it was season 4, and screamed at Candace that she was the least accomplished on the stage. So this idea now that we care about people being elitist when Ashley has been elitist since she's been on the show, throwing Michael, Gollum Darby in people's faces. And we have watched her be kicked out of that 1-bedroom condo with plastic storage containers with plastic hangers for her clothes. I don't want to hear nothing from Ashley about that. That to me is where it's crazy. And I do get, oh, we're on the same show, but this is Housewives. People come on the show because either they were married to wealthy or they're accomplished in their own ways, which both to me are, both ways to get it good. But Ashley pretends like that's not the reason why she is here. Ashley has been the one lying about how she met Michael. Once she worked for him, then they met in the bar. Then she's on talking about she was the intern at his company. So to me, it's always been clear that Ashley does not necessarily, she likes to throw Michael in people's faces when they were married, but she still wants to stand on her own 2 feet. And that's where I cannot receive her talking about people's accomplishments, because again, this is the same woman who told Candace that she was the least accomplished there. When we're talking about pedigree and all that kind of stuff, Candace is the one with the 4 physician parents. And Ashley's been on this TV show crying and begging her mama to leave that drunk for the last 20 years. And having to get Michael to pay for rent and everything like that. So that's why I feel like that, to me, will never fly from Ashley, because she always, it feels like a projection and not necessarily like an actual moral standard. A moral standard is like, I don't think I'm better than anyone else. But Ashley has always operated like she is better than somebody. Always. So you don't get to play these games then when you lose in the battle. Because in the battle, you have lost. Yes, you went to college, but you don't have 4 degrees. You were not the one invited to the White House. You're not the one speaking to the House speaker. You're not doing any of that. You're the one with the yoga line that no one can find, which was just screen print t-shirts that has not been updated since 2018. You're the one with GNA that went from a business to philanthropy to afloat. So that to me is where I just can't rock with Ashley. And Chase, you're also right with, if that's how you felt 5 + 6 years ago, you should have kept that same energy. Instead, you were playing, friendly, which I totally understand. And then as soon as you could, you flipped it. And that's where people have issues with Ashley. Because even Giselle didn't do that. And that is crazy work to see that Giselle didn't go off the deep end with Wendy, which you would feel like she would. And Ashley did. And then she did it when people are already making fun of her being on this tour of her, I can't sing to save my behind. And again, it's still doing the projection, because you want to sing, but only one other person has an album. Only one other person's on tour with R&B legends. You want to talk about education and pedigree. Again, though, you're the one who had to sit up there and protect your husband on Fox DC about him SAing people at your job multiple times. So I don't really care about a fraud charge, because I ain't never had to sit up there and defend my husband touching people without their consent. Now I would like to talk to everyone else. Angel, I don't want her to come back, because I do feel like, for me, I feel like people are missing the piece where she did drag the catfish. Giselle apologized. We moved on. And because she wanted an issue with Wendy, that's why she kept dragging the catfish thing, which led Ashley to have the opportunity to keep making fun of her. And so she did not know how to let that rest when Giselle apologized, which was shocking. Who else is there? Kiana. Silence. Empty. Didn't know she was there until the whole Angel. And girl, I don't know what to do with Kiana. And Greg is not her saving grace. She needs to go off with that picture frame to the deep end with that man. I don't know what's happening there, but it's sad and I don't want to watch it. Giselle, I think Giselle's time's almost up. Nothing's really going on here, but I do know we need anchors. Don't make that face, Jay. Don't make that face, Jay. What did Giselle do?
You know what? Let me tell you. Ain't nobody gonna talk about Giselle Bryant on my watch. I love you.
I think if we do want something, well, I mean, this cast did kind of work, but I guess I don't want to see, I wonder if Giselle's going to fall in line with Ashley next year if Ashley stays and goes on the Wendy train. And honestly, I don't want to watch Ashley do that. Because again, I cannot respect somebody who had to sit there and protect their husband being a predator at their job. So you can never talk to me about insurance fraud when you sat up on Fox DC.
Yeah, y'all let her get away too much. I agree. I give you your 10s. You clocked it all, because she definitely tried to say that shit to Candace. And the fact is, y'all don't want to talk about it. Ashley is very jealous of Candace. I don't care what y'all say.
Sorry, that's what I feel, Tori.
Okay. I mean, on the show no more, but that's a fact.
I mean, I think where Potomac, the thing about Potomac is all of these women, and I say this as someone who is born and bred in this area, all of these women are elitist.
Yes.
Every last one. And I think the thing
DMV area is elitist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
County,
the whole area.
So if y'all don't know, yes, explain that, Jay, because I'm sorry. As somebody who is born and bred in New York, and I went to college my first year, shout out to Virginia Union University, but like my entrance to that school was, I'm from the DMV area, but no, I'm from Prince George's County, baby. Yep. So if I don't know, yes, PG County, I was educated on it by the time I went.
Very elitist, and I think the thing is, I'm not gonna say 100% of the cast. I think there's some women who are not as elitist as others, but all of these women are mirror images in some way of each other. Whether you like one or you don't like the other, that's fine. But they all come from the same BS. And I think that that's why they all are getting in their own way, because Potomac is a very different city than Atlanta, than OC. Potomac is very different than any other city, because these women move in a very, very different way, because they're black. Like if we look at Atlanta, the women are more self-made. You know what I mean? Like, you have the Kenyas, you have the Candies, you have the people who built their careers on their own. Potomac, the women are either athletes' wives or they're some sort of other, grandfathered in, kind of like Giselle. And I think that that's the thing that annoys me all the time. It's like, y'all are all the same person. Y'all are all just trying to one up the other person, because in this area, it's all about, okay, well, does it look like I came into my money in a way that is better than the way that you came into your money? And
that's where the elitist comes from. Yeah, I agree.
Where the
Y'all know the
sorry.
area, and let's be clear, it is very different in the fact that it's much like New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey, that the DMV area, all the ladies do not live in Potomac. It's a tri-state area kind of thing. And so it's DC, it's Maryland, and it's Virginia. So I mean, yeah, it's really different.
And it's fine. But it just, that's what I just feel like. I feel like in some cases, like an Ashley, like it feels like almost like playing like white women's fragility, because you feel like someone's knocking you down when Ashley's been on here knocking people down since the very beginning. So that's why I can never receive that, because the whole point is, as you all said, the show is Jack and Jill. How are you in Jack and Jill? Because you come from pedigree. You're a lawyer. You're a doctor, senator, civil rights leader. That is the whole premise of the show. And Ashley sat on that show and was screaming at a girl whose parents were in the military and physicians. So then when we come back with someone who has a PhD and all you've done is had to be on this show with this man, going back and forth with him cheating and posting up some prenups, and he don't want a baby because he doesn't want the baby to turn out like you and your mother, I don't want to hear it from you.
I just find it funny that she's, with her upbringing, she shouldn't be saying this kind of, like, I just don't get it. I don't get Ashley, and I just don't feel like people pull her card enough. Like, I'm sorry. And I don't believe that she should come back another season. And y'all pissed me off because literally the fan base was ready for her to go. And then she comes up with this little damn read with Wendy and all the other stuff y'all wanted.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Kyra.
Yes,
Thank you, Kyra. We do appreciate you, okay?
Yeah, you clocked that, girl.
Listen,
you clocked Ashley, but you didn't clock me. Thank you so much, Dee.
Well, can I ask? So I think
nobody's still advocating for Ashley to stay other than J. Rod.
I'm saying the fan base is, though.
I think what I've always felt Ashley has skated on is, and again, I'm not ever policing people's blackness. Yes, Ashley is clearly part black. I've always felt that it's interesting that no one talks about Ashley's only connection to the group through a white man.
Clock it. That is true.
Stacy is right there too, but I just think for Potomac to be such a black franchise, and that a woman who has really just shown up because she was sucking white peen says a lot. And we gotta go.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Tori, BJ, thank you so much to the people. And we do greatly appreciate it. Hopefully we'll be back on the camera next week. We have some things lined up for you this week, so continue to go ahead and do that. Go ahead, you guys. I did an interview with, well, I didn't do it, but we did an interview here on No Chase TV with Chandrika Robinson of Candy and the Gang. And it was hosted by one of our newest correspondent here on No Chaser TV, Antoinette. So go ahead and show that some love. With that being said, I want to thank everyone in the lounge for everything that you do. But we do have to go. And so I want to thank you guys so much for the discussion, and we will see you. So yeah, 2 hours. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. Peace to the people. Peace to the new millennium. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, I'm joking. I'm joking.